So a food truck that wants to operate in Knoxville has three choices really. One is special events, and that it has been and will remain outside of the pilot program. This pilot program addresses trucks parking in public right-of-ways and operated in private parking lots. So we have designated 7 different zones in downtown in which they can operate. Then in private parking lots, they can operate with permission from the parking lot owner or operator. Now, if a food truck uses an onboard generator and parks in that private parking lot in already designated parking zones, doesn't have to do anything else. But if a food truck parks in the private parking lot in a zone that is not a parking lot designated, like say for example closer to the building or the back of the parking lot, that will trigger a site plan review and a site permit. And so that falls on the property owner to get that site plan reviewed.
The program, I think it's a good start. The city's worked really hard to get everybody's input, and they've worked with the association. We've been kind of an advisory role. So I think they've got a lot of great input from food truck owners as far as what would be successful to put into their pilot program. And I think it's a great start because, we get to go, and as it develops and issues come up, we can have the flexibility to address and fix any of the issues. And again, because it's a pilot program, I think we'll find, if one zone's not any good, then maybe we'll replace it with something else. The public gives feedback and says, hey, we need another zone. Then we have that flexibility to, add on different zones and to basically tweak the program. So that's what I'm really happy about. And it's great that the city is offering so much support and, looking for our opinions and stuff on it. So
we started out as a catering company, and we serve the food that we grow on our farm, and we grow a lot of different foods: meats, crops, vegetables, grains, eggs, from time to time a little bit of dairy. And we wanted to get that food to the people, so a very part-time food truck made sense to us. We take it to the farmers market. We go one other place currently downtown where we have permission from the private property owner. It's a gigantic commercial building. I don't see any need for further inspection of the electrical there. He runs a very large machine shop in there during the day. We plug in a 110 cord. For me to ask that permission, I think is excessive. I think $3 million worth of liability insurance is excessive for what we're doing, especially if we're not on public property. If we're in an event, we're encompassed in their insurance. If we're on private property, we're encompassed in his. And we have our own, but we don't have $3 million, we have $1 million. It'll cost us more to get that. And when we're serving food, maybe 4 to 8 hours a week during the nice months of the year, we can afford all those fees. It's already all we can do just to pay the fees that we had to pay to the health department. Because we function out on our farm, we've had to pay the county, Jefferson County, quite a few fees, and septic tank approval, well water approval, all of these things that we've had to go through, thousands of dollars in fees, plus we pay our taxes, and it basically is a deal breaker for us to have to increase our insurance and pay a $500 fee. So I was glad to hear that they're willing to consider not making us pay that fee if we don't want to park on the street.
I think it's a great program. It's a term I hadn't heard before was brought up today, which is food deserts. I think this addresses food deserts downtown. I think brick and mortar restaurant owners are going to be real happy with this pilot program. We're all curious, us and the mobile food vendors, to see how the participation is by the mobile food vendors. But the city's worked very hard. Patricia Robledo has done a great job, her and Rick Emmett, with putting this together. It's a great program. The concern was that we didn't want mobile food vendors to be able to park and block the door to a restaurant which was established, because there are issues. We all have to be good neighbors, and so it was not so much, hey, they've got to be 150 feet away. It was, what works? How do we flow people? How do we ensure public safety? How do we, ensure fair competition? Because, it's that the vendors have much more flexibility with their location. They can pick up and move and change, and so, we just wanted a fair and level playing field.